1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey y'all, Jim Pankey here with some tips for you to help you learn to be better, faster. Not to be a better player at a faster tempo, but to be a better player sooner. And how do we go about that? And because everybody learns at their own rate. So what I hope to impart today, and this is not going to take long, is just some ideas and tips that will get you to whatever your goal is sooner. We've all seen certain kids learn to play the banjo like almost seemingly overnight. We look at this kid and he's 13 years old and we're going, how did he get so good in just 13 years? I mean, and that's provided that he started playing banjo at birth. You know, it seems unfair sometimes, but you got to remember, and I'm not going to say, you know, kids have more elasticity and they just learn quicker. I'm not going to tell you that. You already believe that. But what I am going to tell you is that kids that progress that fast, one of the things that they have is an obsession. They're obsessed with it. Every waking moment is banjo. I know for myself, when I first started playing banjo, all I wanted to do was play the banjo. I would get up in the mornings before school and play banjo. Some days I could take my banjo to school, and so that allowed me to play at school. As a matter of fact, that allowed me to play on the school bus. I'm still remembered for that. But I was obsessed with it. As soon as I got home, I played the banjo until I was told to, hey, it's time for supper. All right, so I'd go gobble down supper, and then I'd go back to my room and play banjo more. And so that was my goal as a musician or as a banjo player or as a kid or whatever. My goal was to just play. I loved every moment of it. And so that's not really a tip. I can't say, well, here's you a tip, have a strong desire to play. I can't, while that's going to help, the reality of it is playing as if you had an obsession for it is going to really progress your progress. So play a lot. Every chance you get, leave your banjo out. Put it somewhere where you can get to it, where you can see it. You could be like me and just have one in every room. But put your banjo where it's accessible. That's a huge thing. And play a lot. You know, having it out does not count as practice time. You have to practice. So that would be tip number one. Play a lot. And notice I said play. I'm not saying do some crazy practice regimen. If you've got 5 minutes before you have to leave for work, banjo. If you get home from work and you've got 5 minutes before it's time to fix supper, banjo. Those types of things. The things that we want to do, we do those things. And that's a tip that's going to help you. And I think if you ask any parent of any child that learned to play banjo, that's what those kids did. That's what they did. Hey, Dad, when I was learning to play, how much did I practice?
Every minute you had to practice. All the time.
All the time.
You're awake.
Hey, Mom, when I was learning to play banjo, how much did I practice?
All the time.
All the time?
Other than when you were in the shower. You could have slept just a little bit.
Any odd places that I practiced?
No, not even in the back seat of the car.
All right, so here's a second tip for you, and this is a helpful thing. Play with recordings. Play with recordings. Find an album that you really like. For me, when I was learning to play, one of my go-to albums was Foggy Mountain Banjo. It was Flat and Scruggs album. You can still get it, and for a lot of us, my generation, and banjo players in general, that's like the Bible. That's the stuff you've got to learn. It's that important. So play along with the albums. And I know what you're saying, Jim, they go so fast. Yeah, they do. And what's that going to do? Well, if you're trying to play with the album, you're going to have to go fast. You're going to have to play it at those speeds. And you might not be successful at first, and that is perfectly okay. It's okay to mess up. And so give yourself that permission to just blow it, and give yourself to the permission to stand in awe of players like Earl Scruggs and J.D. Crowe and whoever you like when they're going at these tempos that are like Mach 5, and you're going, there's just no way I can keep up with that. Allow yourself to stand in awe, and remember that with enough effort, you will go that fast. And just keep at it, keep trying. You will get faster, I promise you. So having recordings to play with, but in lieu of that, you could also, there's a variety of things that you can do. You know, YouTube allows you to slow down videos, and I think we've all experimented with that. I know I have. It's a handy thing when I'm trying to figure out exactly what somebody may have done, or a lick or a lyric or whatever. Having the ability to slow that down is great. Another great product is Strum Machine, and I really recommend it. I tell all my students about Strum Machine, and this isn't sponsored. I pay for Strum Machine. This is something that I use somewhat regularly for myself, and I use it all the time with my students. You've got to have a way of playing with, with a recording, and Strum Machine is a great way to do it. You can program your own songs. You can play along. There's probably over 1,000, I don't know how many songs in Strum Machine already transcribed, and you can play along with it, just like this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The biggest and the final tip that I'm going to give you that's going to help you learn faster than anyone: find somebody to play with. Now, I know you can go online and you will hear people tell you, oh, find a jam session, go to the jam sessions. I'm telling you not to do that. Not yet. I mean, yeah, go listen, watch how it's done, maybe even try. But more important than that, more important than the jam session, is finding one person that you can play music with. I was fortunate, and I realized that. My dad played guitar, and so as soon as I would just slowly get a piece of banjo tune under my fingers, Dad would be like, hey, let's play that. So he'd grab his guitar, and I would be forced to play along and play with him, and I together, playing together, creating music together was helpful. And then in high school, I had a buddy, Mark, and Mark and I played a lot of music together. We would get together and we would try things. learned a little bit, he'd learn a little bit. We'd come together, we'd get together after school, and we would play tunes. And it's like, hey, I learned this tune. And he's like, well, I learned this on guitar. And then we'd swap, because I was fooling with guitar too. And he was learning banjo, mostly, because it was fun. And, he had an interest. And so we swapped ideas, we swapped licks, we came up with tunes together, and we worked out our own ways of playing music together. So that's super important. I want you to think about some of these kids that seem to have come out of nowhere. One of the things I think you're going to find that maybe not all, but most of them are going to have in common is they had somebody that they could play with on a regular basis. Just that one other person that helped them, whether it was a parent that played guitar or, an uncle or somebody that played, that was around, that could show them things and they could try different stuff and that could be patient with them and give them the chance to make mistakes, learn as they went, and then encourage them to press further, press forward, press harder. I know for me, like playing with Dad was a huge thing because he was a good guitar player and he kept good time. That meant I had to play and keep good time. And I had to listen. And I had to listen to him. Not what he was telling me, but I had to listen to him play. And then when I started playing with my buddy Mark, we had to listen to each other. And in the process of doing that, we both learned to be fairly decent musicians after a while. It was something that you only got from playing with somebody else. And I can't tell you how important that is. And I hope that for you. And I know maybe you live in an area where you don't know a lot of folks and you don't know other people to play with, but go to the mom and pop music stores, hang out there, spend some time there, get to know those people. You will meet other players and you will meet people that you might be able to play with. Look to your family. There may be family members that might play guitar or piano or whatever. I have spent a lot of time playing banjo along with somebody that played piano. And you can do that too. It doesn't have to be banjo and guitar or banjo and mandolin or what. It doesn't have to be a bluegrass instrument, but it just needs to be somebody. And that's going to really, that's like putting turbo boost on. And you say, I don't think I'm ready. So when are you going to be ready? What's it going to take? What's it going to take? Find another beginner player. Find somebody that's just now learning and sit with them, because that's what Mark and I did. We just sat and learned together. And a lot of times we just sit and play banjo together. We weren't doing anything other than just making music and enjoying that. So that goes back, we've come full circle. We've gone back to that obsession to enjoying the music. Now, here's a bonus tip. Didn't know I was going to give you this, but the bonus tip is you got to be listening to the music that you want to play. If you want to play bluegrass banjo, you've got to listen to bluegrass banjo. It's got to be a steady stream of that going into your ears. Listen to it when you're getting ready in the morning. Put on the albums. Listen to the bluegrass. Listen to Earl, J.D., Don Reno, Sonny Osborne, Little Roy Lewis, Bela Fleck, Scott Vestal, whoever you want to listen to, but be listening to the music, because that's the way you learn it. It's got to be in here before it can be here. Listen to that Foggy Mountain Banjo album on repeat. It'll get stuck in your head. And then when you start to play, it's going to make a lot of sense. Hey, I hope these tips are helpful. I know that you probably came here for me to show you how to, just play some break to some tune. But I want to tell you this. if you've been through my 10 lesson series, or if you even went through my Bluegrass Banjo in a Minute series, you've got the tools. You have some tools. You don't have all the tools, but you have a lot of tools that you can use to play any song that you want, along with any recording that you want, along with, Strum Machine if you want, whatever it is that is your goal. You have some tools. Now, it might not be exactly like somebody else played it, but it's going to be just like you played it. And finally, I want you to get hung up. I want you to get hung up on the same lick over and over and over. You know, in Earl's book, it's got the repeat mark with 1,000 over it. Yeah, I want you to get hung up. I want you to get hung up on polishing that lick and then polishing that first few measures of a tune, and then maybe just get hung up and stay there. That's going to help. All right, folks, hope this was helpful. If you like this sort of thing, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button. Hey, and if you want notifications, ring the bell. We'll see y'all next time.